Have you ever stood in a room and felt a wave of shame washed over you? Not because you did something wrong, but because of you simply didn't know. What does teenager have? Curiosity, fearlessness, that believe that everything is still possible. And at 50s, you have all of them, plus the wisdom to do something with it. So tell me, who has the advantage? I remember it clearly. I was in my 40s, standing in a testing center, when an assistant offered me to sit at the computer. And I drew myself up and announced, "Computer and I do not go together." She looked at me and said, "There is nothing to be proud of." Her words landed hard. I went out ashamed and confused, and to be honest, a little bit angry. So, can you guess what this stress did to me? It did something. Within a few years, I not just learned to use a computer. I, in my 50s, could demonstrate the skills that many young people struggle to show. And yet, it wasn't enough. My brain was hungry for something new. Do you watch scenes from movie when someone typing at the lightning speed, eyes is fixed in the computer screen, fingers fly across the keyboard without ever looking down? And I decided I want it. I researched and have found some application for blind typing. After 3 months, I completely mastered the 10 fingers methods. Each new skills I learned opened new doors which I never know. And English. English was my most far-fetched dream. Every effort I made hit at the same wall. My peers hinted at my age and would laugh at me, as if my brain simply closes the gates at a certain point. And then I found in 2017, I found the King's English School. I did every piece of homework. I attended every single class, and I showed up. After few years, I showed up, and my sons showed up with me. They joined our group. They sit beside me. We learned together. This support changed everything. And 3 years later, I was speaking fluently. And to test what I built, I went to London. Not such a tourist who smiled and nodded, but such a person who can speak, think, and answer in English. But the real test came in a city-level showcase. Right here in Surgut, I stood up and I delivered full speech in English about papilloma virus vaccine, a medical topic, a public health topic. And that's one matter that people listen, not politely, but genuinely. This speech changed minds. It's moved people to act. Now I speaking fluently, and excuse me, I a little bit confused. While my peers too afraid to to perform in Russia, I was speaking in a city stage in English about something that could change a life, save a life. Today, I watch TV series in English. I listen to podcasts in English. I follow the social media platform in English. And if someone wanted to debate with me, I take them on in English and will hold my own ground. Do you know, after 50s, I allowed myself to travel. The United States, England, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Venice, Hawaii. The places that I only read about, the places that I felt once belonging to another people's lives. And after 50s, I began to paint. Not portraits, not still life. I was painting cities, squares, bridges, and skylines. And what interesting part, that's I started to paint them first, and then I went there. I stood on those squares, on those bridges, and I recognized them. I have already seen them through my own brushes. That is, I called visual programming, and I am living proof that it works. I researched for finding some people like me, and I found them. Take Dmitry Zivin, a man who built a Beeline company. Beloved company who everyone in this room knows. After 35 years as a scientist, he worked onto business. His own words: I was already 60, but I never felt such a surge of energy. Those 10 years were the happiest years in my life. Or consider Angela Vorobyova from Ulan-Ude, who became our oldest people, climbed in a Kilimanjaro, not at 36, not at 56, at 86. And he danced tango with her guide in a way up. She dedicated this summit to her sister, who died at the childhood. And she did it with a Guinness World Record for show it. Or Nola Ox from the United States. She received her college degree at 95, but for her it wasn't enough. And she earned her master's degree at 98, not because she had to, but because she wanted to. In the United States and Europe, stories like this fill the book and TED stages and front pages of newspaper. In the Russia, we still counting in our fingers. Dmitry Zivin, the woman from Ulan-Ude. Who else? This silence is not a failure. This silence is invitation. And science is in our side. A 2025 studies published in a journal Intelligence showed that human cognitive ability not peak at 25 or 35. They peak between 55 and 60. The mature brain doesn't slow down. It becomes more strategic. It recognizes the patterns. It makes a decision based on own experience rather than impulse. And research from Georgia Tech show that passive cognitive habits, like hours of watching TV, are linked to increased risk of dementia, while the people who stay cognitively active reduce this risk. Each new skills does not door opening. It's a shield. Our age does not prevent us from living life for the fullest or opening new horizons. Vibrant and energetic people who always strive to get most highest get most of the lives despite on their ages. Believe in yourself. Life attracts the lucky. After learning new skills and living a life are very similar to the riding a bicycle. While it takes a while to find your own balance, and you can only stay upright if you keep moving. After 50s is not a beginning of the end. It's beginning of the new part when you have time, courage, and wisdom to become who you always want to be. Not calmly preparing for die, but fully, deliberately, joyfully choosing the life. Believe in yourself. Don't blame your memory. Don't blame your age. As G.F. Kennedy says, let us add some life in our years instead of adding years in our life. That is your invitation. Thank you.